It was a very, very clear moment for me because I actually was not going into music. I had no idea that I could sing or write songs. So it was a very clear moment for me because that moment when I actually did it, I had no idea that it would turn into something. And that was working with the Basement Boys. But before that moment, I was just a club kid dancing around at the club every weekend. And I had just graduated from high school and I was going into university. Had started at university actually, and was going into the medical field. So that was my area of concentration all through my high school curriculum. And I was pursuing that as a career path. And then I discovered club culture also and fell in love with, immersive analog sound systems and the whole like party dance experience because it was just so rich and creative and the energy was just like pulsing and amazing. So I got to know people in that space. I got to know DJs or whatever, just because I was a club kid, just always there dancing. And I just kind of happened to start getting to know people. Tommy Davis, who was part of the Basement Boys at the time, knew that I sang in my church choir a little bit and they were looking for vocalists. And so they just kind of were inviting everybody, to just come down and hang out. And I just did, and I did. And so he invited me down and I was like, oh, okay, it was very casual for me because again, I had no musical inclination. When I went down that night to hang out, I auditioned by doing an a cappella. I did Angela Winbush's Angel for them. There were other vocalists, subscribed vocalists there, and they auditioned and did their thing. I ended up being the one that they wanted to continue working with. And so on another evening down in the basement, hanging out, we started writing lyrics, which ended up being It's Over Now as a song. And then I went in the booth and, they played our track, which I hadn't heard until that moment that they played it in my can. And I was like, okay, let me just bounce this vibe of these lyrics. Scrap paper. I've got these words with no, melody or anything. So it all just kind of happened right there on the spot, and I sang what then became my first single, It's Over Now. And it went on to be signed to Warner Brothers in the UK. And then they asked for an album and then, the song charted and I was on Top of the Pops the next thing I knew. So I was like, okay.